I've been getting a lot of questions lately about whether Albanians celebrate Christmas, so let's walk and talk through Tirana, the capital of Albania, on this 4K walking tour, and I'll share what I've learned. Hey guys, Scott Layton here from my Expat Life and the Renaissance Spirit channel. So to answer your question, I looked into a 2024 report published by the Konrad Adenauer Foundation, which is based on the most recent data from Albania's National Statistics Agency, INSTAT, from 2023. According to that data, around 45.9% of Albanians identify as Muslim, so they generally don't celebrate Christmas at all. Another 4.8% are Orthodox Christians. And while they do celebrate Christmas, it's not on December 25th, but on a different date entirely. More on that later. That leaves less than 10% of the population who actually celebrate Christmas on December 25th, and most of those are Catholics, who make up about 7.2% of the country. I wasn't able to find specific numbers for Protestants in Albania, but based on what I've read, their numbers are quite small, likely well under 1%. So even though most Albanians don't celebrate Christmas, you'll still find lights, trees, and music, even more than most American cities. Not because everyone shares the same faith, but because there's a shared respect for tradition and joy. You can see some of that on this walking tour, and that all got me thinking. Back in the US, I used to say Happy Holidays, unless I knew someone was celebrating Christmas on the same day I was. It always felt like a way to include everyone, especially friends who were Jewish, another religious tradition, or not religious, or just doing their own thing. But of course, over the years, even that turned into some kind of political statement, like saying Happy Holidays meant you were trying to erase Christmas, which is crazy because for me, it was always about respect. It wasn't just a sign or respect or compassion for others. In my family, it was tradition. One of my favorite movies this time of year was always Holiday Inn. My mom introduced it to me and my sister when we were kids. It was one of her favorites. I loved the idea of this cozy inn you could go to for every holiday. It just felt magical. And Happy Holidays from the movie is still one of my favorite non-religious Christmas songs. Maybe that's one of the reasons any holidays were always fun and important to me, and a way to celebrate various ethnicities, cultures, and open myself up to the world. When I started hosting my mom and sister for holidays, I'd honor different parts of our shared ethnicity. Like Christmas, we do English with wassail and figgy pudding and crackers. Christmas Eve was invariably either Italian with fishes or Scandinavian. Easter was Irish. Foods and customs our ancestors long ago practiced and lost along the way, I brought back to our present. But I also started celebrating other holidays I learned about or were introduced to. The head of our poli-sci program at uni introduced me and some other undergrads to Cinco de Mayo, a tradition I've been celebrating since. I was lucky enough to experience an opportunity of studying abroad at a joint Catholic and Anglican university in Liverpool, and the college Catholic priest and one of the sisters invited the foreign students like me to the rectory, for non-Catholics, that's the residence of the priest, for dinners on Friday nights where we'd take turns cooking. The sister, originally from Scotland, introduced me to my first Robert Burns Day meals, and I've been celebrating that since. It was the first time as a Catholic that I socially interacted with clergy, and it was all an experience I'll cherish, and I absolutely loved the fraternity and ecumenicism of the two faiths sharing the same school. I alternated between Anglican services and Catholic masses on Sundays. Sometime along the way, I started observing my birthday, the Ides of March on St. Patrick's Day. If you name it, I've probably celebrated the holiday at least once, from Chinese New Year to Kwanzaa, to Ramadan, to Diwali, to Samhain, and I stopped celebrating Thanksgiving or Columbus Day in favor of a national day of mourning in respect and to honor Native Americans, but also in recognition of ancestral sins. Some of my family came to America back in 1632 with land deeds bought from the indigenous Americans. And now I'm here living in Albania, where it's a whole different mixed majority Muslim, and then Catholic and Orthodox Christians. And even among those groups, people celebrate on different days. For reference, Western faiths like Catholics and Protestants celebrate Christmas on December 25th, and have since the Roman Catholic Church adopted the Gregorian calendar in 1582. whereas Eastern faiths, like the Greek, Ukrainian, and Russian Orthodox, use the older Julian calendar, the original date we all used before the Great Schism, and our later calendar change, so their Christmas is on a different date, usually in January. Their Christmas will be January 7th, 2026. So here, I'm leaning even more into that awareness. So, if yesterday was a holiday for you, or yours is in January, Merry Christmas to you. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not, I hope this time of year brings you comfort or connection, or at least a moment of peace. If you'd like to learn more about Christmas, watch my other videos, or join me as I chronicle my life as an expat. You can find my full vlog playlist and podcast linked below. You may also enjoy my latest Christmas composition, Dominus Regnat, a truly reverent, triumphant, and sacred score for your future seasonal traditions. And for a more humane Christmas story for children, without the myths, pre-screen Santa and a polar bear named Paul. I like to think of myself as a Renaissance spirit, or at least trying to be, so my videos explore the full scope of a true modern polymath. Thank you for watching. Until next time, peace be with you.